She's a businesswoman of epic proportions and the wife of one of the second richest men in the world. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's co-chair, Melinda Gates, sat down with Yahoo Finance's Brian Sozzi to chat this morning, and here's a little bit of, give us a little bit of a taste of their talk. What did you talk about?
Yeah, fun chat, Adam. So Melinda Gates just came up with a new book called The Moment of Lift. We talked more about how she's trying to use this book to advance women in business and also her relationship with her husband, Bill Gates.
I tried to be very honest in the book, and I use a couple of examples from Bill's and my marriage to help other men and women realize you have to have this conversation. So we both fell into these very biased roles when our first daughter was born. He was the CEO of Microsoft. I had taken time off from work. But when it came time for our oldest daughter to go to kindergarten, we both totally agreed where we wanted her to go to school. However, it was a long distance from our house. And so I said, let's just wait till she's in third grade to do it. You know, it's going to be twice a day driving her back and forth. And so Bill finally said, no, I feel strongly that she start now. And he said, what can I do to help? And that one question opened the conversation. So he started driving her 2 days a week. And you know what? It turned out we didn't realize we were actually role modeling for other families in the classroom. And all of a sudden, more men started driving.
So he actually drove them to school.
And for him, twice a week, it was an hour because he went all the way to school, past our house, and back to work. And you know what he found? It built his relationship with the children over time, because that car time turns out to be an incredible time to talk to your kids all the way through their teen years until they don't want you to drive with them and they're 16 and get their license.
No, I've been there. I've certainly done that too. You know, I want to transition a little bit to just female empowerment more broadly. We've had a lot of tech IPOs. I don't see a lot of women involved, certainly at the top, but involved with these companies. What's the root problem with this?
Well, so when women come forth in droves with ideas for businesses that could be very successful, less than 2% of women get venture capital funding. Less than 1% of people of color get venture capital funding. So to me, that talks about a structural inequity. And I know there are people of color and women who have fabulous business ideas. And so one of the things I'm doing is not only using my voice, I'm a computer scientist, to say that shouldn't be. I'm also putting capital down.
Through Pivotal Ventures.
Through a company, an office I have called Pivotal Ventures. And putting money in and believing in these early stage investments, I'm trying to show the way. And I expect a good return on that money, and I'm certain I'll get it.
Is there a path out of this? When will we see more women bringing companies to public markets?
I think once we start moving funding towards their businesses, that early seed stage funding, then Series A and Series B, then you will have far more female-led companies taking companies public.
So an interesting book, Shirley. I read it from page to page, and it really got me reflecting on my own life a little bit, to be perfectly honest with you. But really a great point, which is there's a structural issue in the VC community. You look at some of these IPOs, and you look at an Uber, where are the women? Why aren't they on the New York Stock Exchange floor?
Can I make a quick comment about this? I was at a dinner last night with a number of women-led startups, and they were talking about this very issue, that there are so few of them getting VC funding. And part of the issue, they say, is that men get sort of more training on how to do it, right? That they don't even have the language in some cases. How do you pitch something? How do you raise capital? How do you approach these VCs? So that speaks to the structural issues.
But there's also not a lot of women in VCs.
Yes.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is that, you know, when they looked at a few years ago, sort of the inequity that was happening in the tech sector, it was that women were not connecting with the men. There were a lot of Me Too stories that came out of that as well, but that's part of the big conversation that's continuing.
Yeah, and I think there's also a mindset that obviously lingers on in Silicon Valley that men-led upstart companies are just better. Clearly, that's obviously not the case, but that stigma is very much alive in the Valley.
Real quick, the entire interview is posting to yahoofinance.com.
Yeah, we also had to talk more about Warren Buffett and the money he's giving to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So that piece will hit shortly. Have a couple of Britain stories hitting too.
Brian Sozzi, thank you. We look forward to reading it.